This part of the video is meant for those who do not know how to create a CPP file so that you can, write C++ code. Basically, you just create a text file like I just did, and you name it, whatever you want, test 28.cpp, and that is now a C++ file. There are things you need to know about, compiling and stuff, and writing C++. But, I could now, since I just did what I did, I could take all this that's in here, copy it into here, and save it. And I know it's going to compile. I'm going to go ahead and do it for you just to show it. Test 28. Go to DOS. I'm going to go to desktop. And what was it, test 28? So I'm going to go ahead and compile it just to show you that it works. Remember the -o, I don't know what that means. It's for the compiler itself. So I'm going to call this test 28. And then it's also called test 28.cpp. Notice I didn't use any anything like any parentheses. I don't have to because it's one file name, and it will compile that file. And now it's compiled, and now I have test 28, which is basically the same test that I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you the functional test framework. I just wanted you to see how to make a CPP file, and then how to compile one from basically just a text file. This is something someone showed me when I was in college learning the C language. Hello, this is a program that I wrote over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 or 7 days. It's a functional test in C++. It's basically kind of like a wrapper. You would write your tests, and this will call your tests for you. It'll call your scripts. Um, what it eliminates is user error. Many times, I've seen where I've worked with people, and I've started on something, and I didn't know what certain things were. You call it's just one, you type something wrong when you're trying to run tests, and the board fails, and you don't know why, and you get false failures. Um, this eliminates that. What this right here is something that I put in here. It kind of tells you, what each variable does, and what each function, for each function. And then these are the variables you can change. I'm going to do this video as fast as possible, but these are the ones you can change. I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to call it version AB. I'm going to call this one version AB. What I haven't tested is, the drive letter. I haven't tested that. Main board, I'm going to call this test board. I'm just going to test board. I'm going to leave this as test results. This is the parameters file, and this is the test name. I'm going to leave that the same. And I'm doing this to show you that it works. I'll go ahead and save it. And over here, what I have are tests. These are the tests I'm going to be calling. Currently, all that I'm doing is I'm calling, a media player, and I'm running a song. That's all I'm doing. But it's just a batch file. It's just a script I'm running to do something, and this would be running a video, playing a video. And these are just to show you that it works. Parameters file, it has the path where the tests are located, and it has your test names. These are the tests that will be used. These are the tests that are available. This section is only here as a reference so that I know what's available. I can just easily grab these and paste them in here, and I'll show you that in a little bit. These are things I need, so I'm going to copy these. And I'm going to create my new folder, and it's going to be called test board, because I changed it over here to test board. So I'll say new folder, test board. And inside here, I'm going to paste those files that I just copied. Paste. And it's the same files. I just showed you that. I'll show you again. That's all they are. Right now, they're going to be disabled in the test, but the parameters file is so that I don't have to recompile every time I add new test names. I just grab them here and paste them here. It just reads the INI file to find what tests are running. When it has to be recompiled is when you change to a different test board and you change different folders. If you use a different folder name. If everything remains the same, it should work. You just change your tests. I'll go ahead and compile this and show you that it works. I'm using the min-GW compiler. It's -O, and I'm just going to call it test 1. And I have to have a space. I have to have the quotes right because I have a space in the file name. It won't compile unless I do that. I can go ahead and run it from here. And what's going to happen when I run this is you're going to see it's going to create new folders in here. It does this. If it doesn't see the folders, it'll create them. I'll go ahead and start with serial number 1. I'm going to say the first test passes. I'm going to say this one passes. And I'm going to do this real quick. Like I said, I want this video to be as short as possible. 002. I'm going to say fails, passes, run it again. 003. I'm going to say they both fail. Like that. We'll go ahead and open it up for you, show you. See, it has the right test names. There we go. And there's the board, the time with the date stamp in seconds, and then the name of the test. And here's your test results for each board. And that's a CSV file. Go ahead and close that. Here's the text file. It's basically the same thing. It's just in a text format. Now I'll go ahead and I'm going to show you something else down. Actually, what I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to show you that I can just add tests to the name, tests to it. So I'll go ahead and just add these in here, and I'll just put them right here, and it'll run all these tests that fast. And I don't have to recompile. I do not have to recompile. I just run it again, and it already adds them in. So I'll say 004, board 4. So it's test 1, test 2, test 4, test 5, test 6, test 7, and this one I'm going to say it fails. Like that. And you see it shows your results, and it adds them into the test, to the test results. They're added to the test results. There. What I do know is if you leave the files open, these files, and you're running the test with these file names, these files open, it won't record the results because the files are open. If they're open, it won't record the results. So the files have to be closed. But that shows you the parameters, how it works. You don't have to recompile. Now I'm going to show you something else I added down here. This is a pretty neat function I added to it. Where's it at? Right here. The CSV file. I'm going to go ahead and comment the other one out, and I'm going to add this one in. What I'm doing is I'm adding a new column. I'm separating time and date. I'm adding a column by putting a comma in here. I'm using 2 different variables instead of this variable. This is where they're added together. This is where they're separated. I'll go ahead and save that, and I'll show you, the results of that. It only changes in the CSV file, so I have to compile it again. And I'm going to just save it over the same one that was there already. And I'm going to call this one, let's say this is serial number 10. Say it fails, 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 passes, 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 fails. Like that. And then we go over here, and you'll see it added a new column. So added a new column, it's separated. That's what a comma limited file does. Adding the comma, it makes it go from cell to cell, from left to right. Carriage return goes down to the next cell. Comma delimited file. One other thing that I added is I've disabled the test right here. I'm going to go ahead and enable and show you that it really works, and you can use this. This is right here, disabled running test. Just moving those comments, and now it's running. But I have to recompile it because I changed the source code. So anyway, I'm going to give you the source code at the end of this, and you can use it yourself if you want to use it. I'm going to call this one board 20 and run it like that. So I hear it. Does the sound work? Yes, it does. Because a lot of times, all you want is a yes or a no. And another thing I added in here is if I hit the wrong character, it says, look, it's not. It has to be a Y or an N. It has to be a Y or an N. So yes, I heard it. It passed. Yes, I heard it. I'm going to say no. Yes, I heard it. Nobody's talking, so I'm gonna say no. And I don't think anybody's listening. So again, I'm gonna say no. In this video, I used to play guitar all the time. I used to love playing guitar. Um, Here, Duncan, remember when you gave me that turkey that was undercooked and you did it on purpose, and then you told me you made it just for me, and I ate it. Nobody else ate turkey that day. I remember Tanya saying I hate turkey because you would give me food poisoning. I almost died. I had like 105-degree temperature that night when I got back to Austin. Every time as I was driving, man, it was horrible. I was sick. I was so sick before I got back. But you did that turkey to me on purpose because as soon as your mother went to go get that turkey, you go, whoa, whoa, everybody knows that's undercooked. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me? I just ate my whole plate. He goes, well, I didn't know you was eating it. And I said, well, you said you made it just for me. And you said, what do you think about that? And you smiled. Remember that, Eric Duncan? Okay, you tried to kill me. Anyway, I made sure everybody knows it. Anyway, I'm going to give you the source code at the very end. I'm just going to make little sections for you. Have a good day.